other than the obvious.
I recognize you.
Well, you should. I was the only one that followed you to colder
You're
weather,
the
right?
only one.
I mean, other than the obvious, great result in this game, what does this do for your pitchers? Right now, you get guys coming in getting this kind of work.
I mean, we got a pretty young staff, so it teaches them, Stretch A went out there and dominated the game with his fastball. I tell these guys all the time, it doesn't matter how good your curveball is or how good your changeup is, pitching always comes back to your fastball. If you can command your fastball and keep it out of the middle of the plate and throw strikes with it, you'll always have success. And that was, if you want to learn how to pitch, if you're a young kid who wants to learn how to pitch, tonight's the night to be here because he showed people how to pitch.
He had a couple of tough outings starting out his career here. Was it safe for him, and what did you all try to emphasize to him about going out today, kind of as a clean start?
Yeah, he's pitched well in the other starts that he's had. He's given up some. He hasn't got hit hard. He's given up some hits, but he's a great worker. He deserves all the success he gets. He sleeps right. He eats right. He does well in school. He's one of our hardest workers. He deserves to have success, and the game knows. The game always knows how hard you work at it. So if you do things right, you'll get rewarded for it, and that's what happened tonight.
Coach, I guess overall, 12 games in. Hi, by the way.
How you doing?
Good. How do you rate this pitching staff that you have through 12 games?
We've pitched it pretty well so far. If you're going to do one thing good early on, that's what you want to do. You want to win, but you'd prefer not to win 14-12, in the first 15 games because if you can't pitch, you can't win. So we know the hitting is going to catch up. It always does. We always start slow offensively. We always catch up. It looks like we're starting to a little bit. And if the pitching can continue to do what it's doing and keep us in games, we've played good defense, and I think we have a chance.
Well, 13 against Richmond. You get 6 in the third inning here today. The bats aren't terrible either, though, right?
They were early on, but we're starting the last 4 or 5 games. We're starting to come around a little bit. And, with our lineup, we have speed at the top and speed at the bottom. We need to use our speed. We did that, and the guys in the middle need to drive balls over the fence, and that's what they did tonight. So that game was really indicative of what we're capable of, stealing bases and hitting homers and pitching well.
Another home run for Matt McCormick tonight. What's impressed you the most about him so far?
He was kind of feeling his way around the first week or two. Now he's starting to show some aggression, which he needs to do. He's very capable of extra base hits. He's going to be a great hitter for us in his career here. He just needed to get comfortable and relax a little bit, and I think he's starting to do that.
You mentioned the speed in the base paths, also in the outfield. It's the fastest outfield you've ever had.
Brandon White was pretty quick out there.
Right, but left to center to right there with all three of these guys.
Yeah, that's a good feeling when the ball goes in the air to know that those 3 guys are tracking it. If you hit a ball in a gap against us, you got to get it right directly between 2 people. So we're gonna save some doubles and triples with the way we run balls down out there. So we played great defense most of the season so far.
How much of an impact do you think your returning starters have had on this team?
A lot. Kevin Brophy has settled in, has become a leader for us. Tyler Dones and Paul McIntosh, those are the guys that were on the field, for when we hosted the regional. They have been through the atmosphere. They've been through the league. They're showing the younger guys like a McCormick and a Victor Scott how to not get too excited if you have a bad game, and too excited if you have a great game, So you can't win without leadership, and that's what veteran guys give. And all the experience we had last year, doing well in the league and playing great in the conference tournament, hosting the regional, that's when it shows up the following year. And those guys are really doing a good job of showing the younger guys the way.
You shuffled the lineup in Virginia. You moved Austin up to 2 and Vince up to 4. How do you think that's working out so far?
It's when we started hitting, it seemed like Dones had 4 or 5 sacrifice bunts the first 6 or 7 games, and got one of your best hitters sacrificing himself and making outs on purpose. And we really didn't want to do that because Dones is a pretty good IBI guy. So move Austin Davis up there to hopefully do what Dones was doing, and now Dones can drive some runs in. So really like where our lineup's at right now. You have to pitch to us the whole way through. You know, we've got McIntosh and McCormick sitting in the 6 and 7 spots. And they got as much power as anybody. So if you're a pitcher, you can't let down against our lineup right now. We can hurt you the whole way through. You good?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.